Hi, welcome back to Spine and Rehab Specialists for another Wellness Wednesday. I'm Earl Hayden, one of the physical therapists here, joined again by Chris McMillen. Today we're going to go over 4 different exercise sequences you can use if you're trying to prevent ACL tears with playing soccer or any of these other sports that we got coming up in the spring. First one we have is actually sponsored by FIFA. So if you're familiar with that, that's the main international body for soccer or football, depending on who you ask or whatever you prefer. And this is the Nordic hamstring curl. So this is a tough one, and we're using one of our sports courts here to assist with it, because even with this is a hard exercise to do. So Chris is on his knees, we got a cushion there, and I'm going to hold down his legs. And now he's slowly lowering himself down. He's going to go all the way down, okay, and just catch himself and use his arms with pushing himself back up, okay? The goal is to be able to do this without any cords, okay? So another way to kind of practice the same motion is even using a Swiss ball to kind of act as a little progression, so you can have the arms a little bit supported. So we're working that core, and so just go ahead and reach out and lean forward and go. And then to really make sure we're concentrating on the hamstrings, still want to hold down the ankles, and then you want to instruct your patient or client to really contract those glutes, use those butt muscles, use those hamstrings right over here, all right? So it doesn't take much, maybe 3 to 5 sets of anywhere between 5 to 8 repetitions should be good. Trend with a lot of these exercises, we're really going to be concentrating on the glutes and the hamstrings. So important for making sure we're not having reducing stress on that ACL as much as possible. So this is a fun device. So this is a modified Roman chair. This is called the Back Strong. What we love about this, it is adjustable. We can change the angle, and that's going to change how much tension you're putting on the glutes and the hamstring through different ranges of motion in the exercise. So you can do like isometric holds, just like what Chris is doing here, or you can contract those glutes and go ahead and bring your whole body down. And we're not getting a lot of motion necessarily from the back, but the key is we're going up, and we don't have to necessarily go all the way up. Main thing is you want to focus on tightening those glutes and tightening those hamstrings and digging in hard with those heels. So anywhere between 8 to 10 repetitions of this. Now, if you want to work on a different angle or put tension on the muscle through a different range, we can adjust this by using this knob right here. And go ahead and move the foot, Chris. And now we can even go at this angle right here, okay? There you go. And then just pulling up right there. Good. Okay. So now we're getting some tension on there, but we get most of it when we're at the very top. And it doesn't take much. Again, 5 to 10 repetitions of this should be good. 3 to 4 sets. Next exercise we can definitely work on are slight pushes and pulls. But we're going to focus on pulling. Okay, so what we want to do is you get yourself set up. You want to be in a little bit of a squat, and you're going to really focus on straightening out the knee, pushing off hard, really getting that good strong quad contraction through that motion. Okay, so if your hips are coming up, we might put a little bit more strain on the back. So you want to keep everything nice and low. Get a nice big reach. And if it's too light, you feel like your athlete or client is going through the motion too fast, you can definitely load up the sled, or you can even add a little resistance band around them like your sports court, add some tension on there, and they really have to work on accelerating hard to move that sled. Maybe anywhere between like five laps or so for this is about like 25 feet. So 5 laps, 25 feet or more if your client or patient is in really good shape. Now, besides all the strength work, you definitely have to work on making sure your balance is good. Make sure you have good body control on an unstable surface, whether you're stationary or you're moving the leg. Because remember, with soccer and a lot of other sports, you're standing on one leg and the rest of your body is doing something else. So what Chris is going to do is he's going to stand on this foam pad, and all we're going to do is just him passing the ball to me. All right, so go ahead, pass it. There we go.
Disaster.
There we go. So it's a good way to kind of work on the balance, but even accuracy of the kicks. Definitely do as many repetitions as you can, and then go ahead and switch legs as well. So you can do passes like that, working on even kicking with the knees, doing headshots, doing headers. There you go. Okay. So, in varying the speeds and angles from where you're tossing the ball, the main thing is shouldn't have any pain with any of these exercises. But I would recommend doing that one last when we're more fatigued. That way, everything has to work a lot harder and gives you a good, better estimate of how the person's going to react in a game time situation when they're tired and the muscles are really struggling. Alright. And those are 4 different exercise ideas you can use if you're trying to reduce risk of having ACL injuries with playing soccer or any of these other field sports that are coming up this spring. Make sure to join us tomorrow for our Thirst for Knowledge Thursdays, where our leaders, Harry Coster and also Anthony Durant, are going to go over more exercises about this, and then how these injuries happen, and more about how we can help you with those here at Spine and Rehab Specialists.